Emily Carter lay awake at 5 a.m., her tiny studio apartment still cloaked in shadows. The old radiator hissed, the city outside buzzed faintly, but she felt like she was underwater, drowning in thoughts she couldn't silence. Her laptop sat on the desk, its glow reflecting a cruel truth. 23 job applications sent this week, 23 polite rejections. We regret to inform you. The words blurred together, erasing her confidence one click at a time. She turned her head toward the taped photograph on the wall. Her college graduation. Emily stood between her parents, cap crooked, grinning as if life was wide open. Her father's. Words echoed, "Administrative work will always be in demand. You'll never go hungry." Now those words mocked her. Rent was overdue, savings were gone, and hunger didn't feel so far away. Emily whispered into the stillness, "Just one more application. One more." Her eyes drifted to the watercolor, painting above her desk, her own, a young girl holding a lantern at the edge of a dark forest. She had called it courage back in high school, when she still believed art could be her life. But art had given way to practical, and practical was now crumbling beneath her. That morning, scrolling bleary-eyed through job boards, one posting caught her eye. Administrative assistant, Westbridge Holdings, 3rd floor. She didn't hesitate. She polished her resume, wrote a careful cover letter, and hit send. But her fatigue betrayed her. In her rush, she hadn't applied to the 3rd floor. She had sent it to the 30th, to the CEO's office. The mistake sat like a stone in her stomach, too late to undo. She closed her laptop and buried her face in her hands. The next afternoon, her phone rang. Unknown number. She almost ignored it. Ms. Carter? This is Jessica Wong, assistant to Mr. Cross. He'd like to interview you tomorrow. Emily froze. Mr. Cross? William Cross, the CEO himself, a man known in the business world as the Glacier. Brilliant, ruthless, and infamous for assistants who lasted weeks, sometimes only days, under his impossible standards. Emily stammered, "Yes, of course. I'll be there." The following morning, she stood outside his office on the 30th floor, knees trembling, wearing a navy blazer borrowed from her roommate. Jessica, the sharp-eyed HR manager, gave her a look of pity. "Good luck. You'll need it." The office door opened. Inside, William Cross didn't bother to look at her at first. He stood at the window, surveying the city like it was his kingdom. "My assistant quit yesterday. No notice. I need someone today. Calendar management, briefings, calls. The hours are long. The expectations are higher. Can you do it?" Emily opened her mouth to explain the mistake, that she wasn't even applying for this floor, but his. Gaze finally landed on her. Cold, unblinking, waiting. Her throat tightened. "Yes, I can." And just like that, she was hired. The first week was chaos. On Monday, she spilled coffee on an investor's briefing packet. On Tuesday, she accidentally double-booked William with 2 foreign clients. On Wednesday, she nearly hit send all on a confidential email. Each mistake felt like a countdown to being fired. She cried in the restroom twice, whispering to her reflection, "You're not cut out for this. He'll replace you by Friday." But she also noticed things. William's coffee, always 14 minutes before a meeting, never 10, never 20. His briefings, he skimmed them by risk level, not by alphabetical order, and his colleagues, their eyes darted when they lied, their hands fidgeted when they feared him. So she started keeping a notebook. A quiet record of rhythms, patterns, and unspoken truths. By the second week, she had anticipated 2 scheduling conflicts before they happened. By the third, she reminded William of an investor's daughter's wedding, a detail he'd forgotten, but that softened a deal. One evening, as she placed reports on his desk, he looked up. "You don't speak much." Emily hesitated. "Only when I have something to say." His eyes lingered on her, thoughtful. For the first time, The glacier thawed just slightly. Weeks became months. HR sent candidates for a permanent role, but William waved them away. He had already chosen, and then came Meridian Global, a buyout offer worth billions. To the board, it was irresistible. To William, it meant dismantling the company he had built. Hundreds of employees would lose their livelihoods. He said nothing, shared nothing, except with Emily. Late one evening, after the office emptied, he leaned against his desk, eyes weary. Numbers say I should take the deal, but it feels like betrayal. Emily's voice was soft, but steady. Westbridge isn't just numbers. It's people. Mark from security who walks clients to their cars. The research team who stayed overnight to fix the crash. The cleaning staff who know everyone's birthdays. We're not just a portfolio. We're a family, and families deserve better. William said nothing at first, but something shifted in his eyes at the announcement. Meeting, the boardroom buzzed with champagne and expectation. Executives whispered about payouts. William stood at the head of the table. He paused, gaze sweeping the room. Then he said, "I've reconsidered. Meridian Global's offer is declined. Westbridge remains ours." The room erupted. Shock, anger, relief. But William's eyes flicked only to Emily, sitting silently at the corner. Months later, Emily wasn't an assistant anymore. She was Director of Culture and Human Capital, her voice helping shape decisions at the highest level. William Cross, once the Glacier, was being praised for revolutionizing leadership, for valuing people as much as profit. But he knew the truth. The change hadn't begun with him. It had begun with the quiet young woman who had dared to speak when it mattered most. Back in her apartment, Emily's desk no longer held stacks of rejection letters. Instead, it held new sketches, her watercolor brushes stained with stories. She was painting again, not dreams abandoned, but lives reclaimed. Her favorite new painting? A girl holding a lantern, but no longer standing at the edge of a dark forest. This time, the path ahead was lit. Sometimes the wrong door leads to the right place, and sometimes the quietest voice changes everything.